We all love a good scary story. We all love a good urban legend. We all love a good creepypasta or a good story. Nowadays, everybody loves a good conspiracy theory, especially with everything that's happening in the world right now. But growing up, urban legends really made an impact to my life. Now, yes, I was forbidden to watch scary stuff, to hear scary stuff, to talk about scary stuff because of the church I was growing up in, but I really never cared. I still went and looked for horror, scary, spooky, weird, abnormal. And today I want to talk about some of these creepy urban legends that I still remember, still haunt me to this day. And before I begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to his YouTube channel, go grab some snacks, turn down the lights, and let's have a spooky good time. Our very first urban legend I want to talk about is called The Envelope. I don't know if you heard this one, but pretty much it's about a person, they write a letter, they put the letter in the envelope, they lick the envelope scratches, cuts their tongue, and they're like, oh, I got a little cut, whatever, sends the envelope off. Days go by, and the tongue just gets swollen and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where this person has a tongue just full of a mouthful of tongue. Actually, they go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, hey, we need to have surgery right now. And right before the doctor does surgery, the tongue just erupts and a bunch of cockroaches start running out. Turns out that this envelope had some cockroach eggs, and when she licked it, or they licked it, it cut their tongue, and the egg was implanted into their mouth. Yep, that's a little disgusting. Gives me some creep show vibes. The next one is called The Babysitter and the Turkey, or The Babysitter's Turkey. This one is a crazy messed up one. Back in the 70s, when everybody was trying psychedelics, there was this babysitter that was gonna take care of this child. So the parents go off, they're like, hey, our kid is asleep, do what you gotta do. If you need to call us, this is the number we're gonna be at, X, Y, and Z. You know, we'll see you in a couple hours. So the parents leave, and the babysitter just decides to take some psychedelics, some acid or shrooms or whatever it is. Turns out that she was so just tripping that she went upstairs because she heard a turkey gobbling, picked up the turkey, prepared it, put it in the oven. I think you know where I'm going with this because this is very messed up. The parents, as they get closer to the house, they see this smoke coming out of a house. It turns out it was their own house. They go running in. They see the babysitter just tripping on the couch. As they go into the oven to open where the turkey is, turns out it wasn't a turkey. It was their baby. Yep. We're going there today. There's another urban legend about a babysitter. I mean, I feel bad for babysitters back in the 70s and 80s, even the 90s, because man, y'all had a bad rep. Y'all got either kidnapped on the live. A lot of things happened to a lot of babysitters. So RIP to all my babysitters out there, or hope you all doing great. This was called The Statue, which honestly, this one's probably one of my most favorite urban legends. And it's about a babysitter that's just chilling at the house, and she goes and checks up on the kids that are asleep. She goes into the room, and she checks on the kids, and in the corner of the bedroom she sees a clown statue just looking eerie and scary. She makes sure the kids are okay. She runs downstairs and she calls the parents. It's like, hey, I just checked on the kids, they're doing just fine, they're all asleep, but you know, is it okay if I cover that clown statue? The parents immediately were like, what clown statue are you talking about? I was like, oh, there's a clown statue in the kids room. It makes me feel a little uneasy. I'm just gonna cover it up if that's okay with y'all. Parents stay quiet. They're like, hey, get the kids out, we're on our way. We don't have a clown statue. Turns out in the urban legend that clown statue was an actual person that had just escaped from a prison, and their gimmick was dressing up as a clown and murdering people. Turns out that by the time the parents got home, the whole house was they're sleeping forever. No clown statue in sight. Before I continue, do you have any good urban legends that you remember to this day? Now, a lot of these urban legends I read I read in libraries. You know, we're talking about libraries before the internet. Back when I was 10, 11 years old, I was reading in the libraries. There was books about urban legends and scary stories around the world or around the US and stuff like that. And that's how I remember some of these urban legends that I just to this day. But do you know any urban legends or any modern urban legends that probably involve Wi-Fi, internet, catfishing? Put it down in the comment section down below. I would love to read them, and maybe I'll make a part 2 of these urban legends. Now we're getting to probably my top 4 urban legends, where these are a little wild. So I'm just saying, buckle up and you know, just bear with me. All right, just bear with me. Humans can lick too. I remember when I heard this one, when I read this one probably my senior year of high school. I remember we had just got a new iPhone. I just got a new iPhone, and I was just scrolling through the internet on my free period, and I remember I ran across this website called Real Scary Stories, or scarystories.com, or Scary Stories to Tell Your Friends. Not Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That's a crazy, awesome anthology book that marked me as well. Anyways, it goes like this. There's this girl that just moved into her new house. It was her and her dog. She loved her dog. Every time she was finished doing something, she'll pet her dog. Her dog would lick her hand as a sign of comfort and friendship. After a whole day of just moving in and putting things where they should go, she sets up her bed, she changes into the pajamas, gets ready for bed, sits on her bed, and she's like, "Whoa, what a long night," right? Fido, the dog's named Fido. Fido goes under the bed, and she just puts her hand underneath her bed, and just the dog licks it, and just, okay, great, Fido's there, goes to sleep. Hours later, she hears trip, 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 trip. Wakes up, and she's like, the water's probably running. Goes to the kitchen, tightens up the faucet, goes back to her bed, has her hand dangling over her bed, dog licks the hand, goes to sleep. Trip, 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 trip. She gets up again, she's like, what the heck? Goes check on the faucet, nothing. She's like, what's going on? Whatever. Goes to her bed, sits down, puts her hand over her bed, dog licks her hand again, and she's like, good night, Fido, goes to sleep. A couple hours later, again, drip, drip, trip. This time she's furious, she's tired, she's exhausted. She goes to her bathroom. As she opens the bathroom door, she sees her dog just dangling there, choked, murdered, blood dripping, and she screams out of fear and shock. And before she runs, she sees in her mirror, right there written in her dog's blood, "Humans can lick too." Oh, every time. Woo! Yep. That's a good one. I just get goosebumps telling this story. This is a good one right here. Last but not least, this is probably the most famous one. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. I've heard many different versions in different languages, in different continents, in different countries, or in different states here in the US. It's a good one. It's probably one of the most told ghost stories, even for kids, because it's not really a scary story, but it's like a sad story about, I guess, truth and mourning and death and life. Goes like this. This guy named John was driving on a rainy day, trying to get home. All of a sudden, he sees this lady just sitting at the bus stop with no umbrella, just getting soaked under the rain. And John was filled with empathy, and he's like, oh man, I'm gonna go pick her up. I'm gonna see if she needs help. He pulls over, pulls down his window, right? We're talking about the 70s again. Pulls down the window, no electronic windows. Yells, hey, do you need a ride? It's raining. You can get sick. The lady runs. He's like, yes, please. Opens the door, gets in the car. And John, being a gentleman, he grabs his jacket. He's like, hey, put this on because you're probably cold and you're wet, and I don't want you to get sick. Let me turn on the heater. Turns on the heater, starts driving. The lady's like, oh, I live just a couple of miles up there. Just drop me off over here. And he's like, okay, great. What is your name? And the lady was like, oh, my name is Mary. And then John was like, well, my name is John. Nice to meet you. So they start talking a little bit, just back and forth, just giggling, whatever. My boy just, just trying to spit some game, trying to cook. As he approaches where she lives, the lady, Mary, was like, no, drop me off right here. You don't have to go inside the house. It's fine. I'll walk. Come get your jacket tomorrow. And then John was like, all right, I'll get it tomorrow. Please just don't get sick. She starts walking and he just drives off. Next day, John drives back where she dropped off Mary and looks for the house, has a hard time, but kind of sees like this little cabin in the corner all the way in the back. He's like, all right, great. Parks the car on top of the hill or on top of where the street is and just walks to where the house is, knocks on the door. An older lady opens the door and he's like, yes, how can I help you? John, being a gentleman, again, was like, yo, excuse me, my name is John. I hope you're doing great. I dropped off Mary yesterday. I just want to know how she's doing, and I'm just here to pick up my jacket as well. This older lady just gets a little offended and agitated and just starts raising her voice to John. This is not funny, John. This is not a joke. John, a little puzzled, was like, no, I'm sorry. I hope she's okay. I don't want to bother her. I'm just here to pick up my jacket. You know what? I'll come another day. Don't worry about it. The older lady was like, no, don't come back another day. And John was like, well, why? Is Mary okay? And then this older lady, just sad, with sadness in her eyes, just goes, well, you really don't know, huh? John is like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. The older lady breaks the news. Well, John, Mary died 20 years ago. She's dead. She's been dead. John was like, no, you're lying. You're kidding. I picked her up the street at the bus stop yesterday while it was raining. Well, John, yesterday was her 20th death anniversary. She got killed by a drunk driver walking home at that very bus stop. John, frustrated, scared, and just in shock. He's like, no. I gave her my jacket. She put it on. My jacket must be here somewhere. The older lady's like, if you don't believe me, John, let's go to her tombstone. It's right up there. So they start walking, silence between both of them because they're both shocked. One is shocked that they brought up Mary. The other one is shocked because he just saw Mary. As they approach the tombstone, they see her name there. Here lies Mary, died 20 years ago. And on top of the tombstone was John's jacket. Oh yes, very sad, story. I think this one just always hits me because it's a sad story. It's just a sad story. I'm over here getting emotional. Anyways, these are my favorite urban legends. Let me know which one you like the most or which one you like the least. With that being said though, please write in the comment section down below what is your favorite urban legend, ghost story, creepypasta, whatever. Put it down in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in another video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Love you guys. God bless. Stay spooky, stay awesome, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.